What's up YouTube, it is Essie here and welcome to episode 12 of our career mode series with Swansea City, and I have some very big and exciting news for you all in this episode. You probably already know by reading the title. Yes, international management, and the best thing is it is from Belgium, and as soon as I seen this offer, guys, straight away the likes of Hazard, Fellaini, Lukaku, company, they all came to my mind, and I thought, you know what, I would absolutely love to manage and play as these players and hopefully take them to the top. And as you can see, our expectations are to reach the World Cup and to reach the knockout stages of the European Championships, and I'm sure we will do, because Belgium really do have an amazing team, and I honestly cannot wait to get started with them. And our first friendly games are against Ivory Coast and then Uruguay, and we don't straight away get into like World Cup qualifiers. First of all, we have some friendlies, which I think is quite good, because it'll give me a chance to get to know the team and try and get the right team set out, and hopefully it will allow me to settle in. But first, we do have some Premier League games to take care of before our first friendly game with Belgium against Ivory Coast. And this game is against Cardiff, and as you all know, Cardiff actually knocked me out of the Capital One Cup just a few games ago, which you've seen in the last episode, and that was probably due to my defending, which was really poor in that match. Thankfully, it wasn't as poor as this match, and I must say this match was a very, a boring match. There wasn't many chances going either way, and Cardiff actually had the best chance here in the 90th minute. Vera, who was one-on-one at the Vorm, but I don't know why he went wide of the goal there, and then that gave Williams a chance there to tackle him, and he did so, and that was the score, 0-0 at the final whistle, and we did pick up a point. And when we returned, we did have a message from Belgium saying that we had to submit our squad to the FA, so before our first friendly, so all of the squads are set up and they know what players they're getting. And we did also have a message from Bartley saying that he's not happy, which I was quite surprised, because I have actually been playing him quite a lot since Chico has been injured, so I was actually quite surprised that he said that. But hopefully, if I keep playing Bartley, he will hopefully change his opinion, and hopefully he will stay at the club, because he really is a good and upcoming prospect. I mean, he's only young as well, so that is the reason why I really want to keep him. But our next game is against Norwich, and this was a game where I really needed 3 points from, and hopefully could find the rhythm back again. And as you can see, I did have a very good start here. Demacros getting another goal, who has had a brilliant start at the club, and I could have had another goal there with Danny Graham, but it was well saved by the goalkeeper. And I must say, Norwich did have some chances of their own. I wasn't really defending that all too well in the first half either, but my attacking was very good, my passing was very good, my players were making very good runs, but it did stay 1-0 at the half-time whistle. And in the second half, it was much of the same. Norwich were getting chances and missing them, but also I was getting chances as well. But when I had my chance with Dyer, I did take it. As you can see, I just put in a very good hard low cross into the box, and I don't know how that was Dyer's goal, but I guess it just kind of deflected off one of those players. I'm not too sure which player it was, but I guess it just deflected off the players. The most important thing is that it ended up at the back of the net, and that got us our second goal and added to Dyer's goal scoring run. And we could have got a few more. Us and Norwich could have got another goal each, but it didn't happen, and it did stay at 2-0, and that is how it ended at the final whistle. And most importantly, it was the 3 points in the bag, which we desperately needed at this stage of the season. And we did have some very good news when we returned back, that Chico had returned to injury, but there was a small risk of him aggravating the injury if we did decide to play him in the next game. And I thought, you know what, why not just chuck him in the team, because it is a big game against Spurs. So I thought, you know what, just play him and just kind of risk it, because he really is such an important player for us, and we have to take advantage that he has come back now and hopefully ready for the big game against Tottenham. And yeah, like I said, a game against Tottenham, and this really is a big game, because last season we really did struggle against Tottenham in both of the matches, home and away matches. They thrashed us, and the score line wasn't very pretty for us, and my defence, or our defence, really did struggle with a pacey attack with players like Dembele, Bale, all of them lot. I mean, we really did struggle with them, and we struggled with them in this match as well. Livermore getting the first goal and gave Tottenham an early lead, but had a chance here with Graham, who thankfully Livermore did foul, and Danny Graham did actually step up to take the penalty. And as you all know, Danny Graham has been so consistent in his penalties. He has scored each and every one of his penalties, and look at that for a penalty into the corner of the goal, giving the goalkeeper no chance, and that kept Danny Graham's penalty conversion rate 100%, and that made the score 1-1, which I was very happy about, because after that Tottenham were all over me. They were missing chances left, right and centre of the goal, and thankfully I did hold on for the score to be 1-0 at the half-time whistle. And in the second half, I must say, I did have some chances, but I just could not get into the box. The Tottenham defence did really seem solid, and I could not get that final pass to create a chance, but in the 90th minute I did, and Michu, as you can see, his touch was very poor, which allowed the goalkeeper to come up. But at the final whistle, it did finish 1-0, a result which I was very happy about, considering the chances Tottenham did miss. But then just 2 days later, we did have a match against West Brom. I'm not too sure how they worked that fixture out, because it was so close to the game against Spurs, and because it was just 2 days after the Spurs match, which really was a hard game for some of my players, I did have to kind of rotate the squad, because some of my players were really low on energy, and I couldn't really risk them because they could have got injured in this match. So I did have to rotate the squad. And West Brom, as you all know, are really good in this game, and are actually doing really good in real life this season as well. They're kind of like how Newcastle were last season, and they are doing really well. And at the half-time whistle, it did finish 0-0, and in the second half I was defending well, as you just seen there. I was blocking shots from West Brom, but then straight after that my defending went from good to worse. As you can see, I left Olsen just free for the header, and that really was some poor defending. Gave him too much space, too much time, too much room, and he will do that to you. And again, very poor defending. Dorrand getting the goal, and that got West Brom second, and it really did. I really couldn't come back from there. I mean, I did have a few chances, but they weren't clear chances to really test the West Brom goalkeeper, and it did finish 2-0 at the final whistle. A very disappointing result, as we couldn't pick up any points in that match. But so we did have some very good news, that when we returned to the menu, that Bartley was actually happy now that he was playing and the amount of time he was getting, which I was very happy about, because it's only a few games ago where he was saying he doesn't want to stay here, but that looked good, and hopefully he would stay. And it got even better, because it was our first exciting Belgium match. It was an international friendly against Ivory Coast, and I was so excited to test out the new team and to see how it all plays out. And yeah, as you can see, it was against Ivory Coast, who were quite a tough opponent. They do have a very good team, in fact, Ivory Coast. So this would be a very good test for me. And as it is a friendly, it would allow me to kind of it wouldn't put much pressure on me, and it would obviously allow me to get a feel for the team and try and work out the squad which is right for me. And I did have to change some players there to get the squad which I wanted, and we did have a very good start here. As you can see, Witsel just missing. The Ivory Coast goalkeeper was saving well, and Ivory Coast were defending for their lives in the early minutes of the game. I was all over them, and Lukaku is so good in this game. This match was actually the first time which I played with players like Hazard and Fellaini and Lukaku. I actually haven't played with them in this game, and they felt so good in this match, and I really was impressed with the first half. Even though there was no goal, I was playing very good football. Ivory Coast did have a chance there, but they couldn't really make it a proper chance, as it was a poor header. But then look at that for a goal from Lukaku. Just powers past the defender. He is so strong on the ball, and then a very cool finish there from Lukaku, and that gave Belgium the 1-0 lead. And Mertens actually extended our lead with a brilliant goal. That really is a good finish, just hitting it over the goalkeeper. I haven't really had a finish like that yet in this game, and that really was a very good finish. A good turn from the defender, and then a cool calm finish to extend the lead to 2-0. And I did have a chance there with Lukaku. Not really like him to miss from that angle. And Ivory Coast did actually punish us, but they almost got back into the game. But as you can see, it was just too late in the 90th minute, and that meant we did have a winning start with Belgium, a 2-1 victory over Ivory Coast, a very positive start, and hopefully we can carry this positive start and this positive play and our good form into our next game, which is against Uruguay, which again is another friendly match, which I will be showing you in the next episode. And just to wrap this episode off, I'm just going to show you how the Premier League table looks just thus far. And as you can see, Chelsea are in first position with 35 points, and we're all the way down in 10th position with 17 points, and we're 7 points off where we want to be. So it's not the biggest of gaps, but I mean that gap will probably increase over time now as the time goes on, because we really do need to start kind of picking up our results and kind of picking up consistency, because we do win matches but we also lose many matches, so we have to kind of hopefully get consistent with our results. And if you want to see this journey continue, please click that subscribe button, and please show your support by giving this video a like, and please feel free to comment in the section below, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.